12, one of the things we covered was puppet rigging and the puppet pin tool. So this is an example of bringing your Illustrator work into After Effects in the proper way to do it. As you can see, I've got 3 layers here. If you need to create a new layer in Illustrator, just click the new layer in the layer panel right here, and you can put whatever you want there. I'll do, there we go. And give this, let's see, what don't we have on the screen? Something blue. Okay. And I will make that bigger, like such. Okay. As you can see, we've got 4 layers. Now, the big problem here, right off the bat, this was made in CMYK. So the fast way of converting everything is go File, Document Color Setup, RGB. Now I'm in an RGB mode. So I'm just going to save this as RGB just so I know the difference. Like such. Then I'll hit save. Now, when I bring this into After Effects, it's not going to do what I want it to do, and I'm going to explain to you why. I could double click in here or go File, Import File to bring in the file. So we're here, week 12, and where's my RGB? Right here. Nope, that's not it, sorry about that. Right here. You can choose a layer to bring in or merge layers. If say this was like 100 layers, it would take forever. So I'm just going to merge it and show you what's going to happen here. I'm going to make a new comp, 1920, 1080, 24. Okay, that's fine. So when I bring this in, it's all the layers as one. And you saw before, if I did it the other way, I'd have to import them 1 layer at a time. And again, always, if you have this and you need to break it down, right click on it, convert shapes from vector layer, and now it's all one big set of shapes. It should just show you in the contents, see it's 10 different groups, but this is not what we're looking to do, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to save this as week 12. Put this here and hit save. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to go back to After Effects. Illustrator. What we need to do here is have After Effects sort this out for us. So what we have to do is, these are all the paths on this 1 layer. I right click, no, I'm sorry, I don't. I select it 1 layer at a time. I go up here, release layers to sequence. Again, you select each and every layer 1 at a time and click release layers to sequence by clicking this little pull down menu. So now you see it's no longer paths, it's now layers. So I take these outside of that initial layer and I have to delete it now because it's empty. You could always click on the little icon here. See how that's lit up? That means there's something in that layer. There's nothing in that layer because nothing was selected when I selected everything within the layer. So this started off right here. So here's the next one. I go up here again, release layer to sequence, and then I've got to drag all of these out like such. This is the layer that's empty now because nothing's being selected. So I'm going to select it, hit the delete button, and lastly I do it to the last 2 layers. Okay, so this is the first part of it. You have to do every single thing. So when you've got more complex art, you can see how this quickly becomes time consuming. You're supposed to name each one of these layers. I'm going to see what happens if I can get away with not naming them. So I just save this. I'll call this 2, just so I know it's the one that was split apart. Alright. And make sure your layer's in the right order you want them. Here you see this going underneath. I don't care. This is just to teach you how to bring them in. So now when I go to After Effects, I go File, Import File, and I choose the one that has the 2 at the end of it, right here. I go to my import as, composition, retain layer sizes. This will split everything up into its own layer. I do not want to make it a sequence. So remember, you're just changing it to composition, retain layer sizes. Do not click that. You don't want a sequence. And I hit open. Now what's going to happen is, let's find out what's going to happen. We've got all the layers brought in. Here's the sequence it created for it. So I'm going to double click on it. And now you have everything. If I'd named them, they're brought in the right order as individual layers that you can start to animate with your paths and whatever you feel like doing to them. That's the first step in bringing in your puppet. You got to do it layer by layer, split it apart, and then it's all layered out in here.